So my coworker has one of those useless boxes, which basically is like you hit the switch and it turns itself off. His is just the standard box like you can buy on Amazon or eBay or wherever. I decided between that and then our company logo, like when you come in the building, it's like little stairs or whatever on a platform, and then this diagonal cube, and it's made out of stainless steel, and it actually looks pretty sweet. But between those two things, I was like, hey, why not make a 3D printed useless box, essentially, that looks like our company logo? And that's what I wound up with, and it turned out really nice. A little more challenging to figure out the little lever mechanism than I had initially thought it would be. Like once it's tilted at an angle, there's really not that much space in this thing for it to open up and hit the switch and then close back up. Like most useless boxes, like the lid opens up in the middle, so the arm can just rotate around like that. It's that simple. This one is actually a two-piece lever, and actually also the lid was kind of complicated to figure out how that was going to open and close. So the lid is on a little pivoting arm with a pin in it, and it can just go straight up and down, and I've got a couple small rubber bands attaching it. So it's perfect. Like I couldn't have accidentally designed it any better, because it has to kind of swing open like that. So the whole thing that made this challenging was just the fact that it's coming out at an angle. And then getting past the lid part, sorry about the video, I'm trying to do this with one hand. The actual lever that turns the switch off is two parts. So it pivots there, and then also that piece behind it swings forward. So yeah, like that whole thing was just a pain to figure out. There's just not that much space to work with in this thing, as far as the requirement for what it's doing. I mean, I guess I could have just had it go like straight down or something, or through the edge of the cube. I wanted it to open though. Like that's what kind of makes it cool, is I wanted the little cube to flip open, hit the switch, and that was my goal, and it somehow worked. So inside there's a little contact switch that turns the motor off once it gets to the fully retracted position. When you turn the switch on, it activates the current, which in turn, you get the idea. Like you can go on Google image search, and it's about like 5 wires to solder up to make the whole circuit for it. Like there's no brain to this thing at all. It's pretty much useless. But the motor for it is like a 15 RPM something or other. It's a small tiny little gear drive motor from China. Got it on Amazon, and it fits into this little tray that I 3D printed for it. And the whole thing is hot glued together in the one position that actually makes it work. Like it's not. If I did it again, I could probably measure this. Oh, hi, cat. If I did it again, I could probably measure this and actually get it to where... leave me alone. To where you could just print it as a couple pieces or whatever, and it was snapped together. For figuring this out, hot glue is perfect. Like it was pretty much invaluable, because like once I held it in the right position and it actually started to get close to where the switch is, then it was just a question of printing like 5 or 6 of these little levers until I found one that was about the right shape and length and stuff for it to actually contact the switch in the right spot. And then on the lid, had a little cardboard and tape work so that the lever wouldn't get caught on it, because like at one point it was just pushing the lid up and getting stuck and not actually going to the switch. Yeah, it was pretty much a pain, and spent way more time on this than it was probably worth to even mess with. But people at work seem to like it, and basically in the back I've just got a little rechargeable battery and a bunch of messy wiring, and that's pretty much it. There's really not much to it. For what amounts to like a little simple thing where you can hit a switch and it does that. 10 hours of work and 12 hours of printing is pretty much what this thing took to make. Is it worth it? I have no idea. Probably not, but I had fun doing it, and it was a good experience. For the printer, I used the qidi Tech 2, or it's the one that prints with dual extruders, and it's PLA or ABS. I use Simplify 3D for the slicer, and I use Fusion 360 to actually do the design and drawings for this. So, base is one print, the cube is a print, the lid's a print, the little switch panel is actually printed and glued on there. There's a 2-piece lever, the motor box, the lid for the motor, the pin for the lever. I don't know, I'm probably forgetting something, but that's pretty much it. It's like 7 or 8 actual pieces to this thing. That's it.